My name is Rashid. Yeah, thank you. Someone says, so what? Thank you. Thank you for saying that, yes. My name starts with a big R. And the takeaway of today, 3 R's again. So that's the R theory, if you would, okay? Are you ready to write them down? Because you guys are bad boys, girls, you don't keep remembering things. You ready to write them? Are you ready? Yes. Okay, the first R, this is how it goes. It says review. Write review. Second R is reframe. Reframe. Third is reflect. Review, you should go back and see what is the best lesson learned in your life so far. So you need to list them down later on. And reframe is about out of those lessons learned, there would be a paradigm shift in your thinking process after learning those lessons. So we reframing the new way of thinking, which is going to be discovered here today. Reflect is engaging your thoughts with like-minded people to create a difference on the globe. And again, this is why we are here. And I promise you, if you stick to the end of this program today, the 3 R's will be so clear to you, and they will be your guiding principles for the future and the present as well. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa rasulullah. By all means, I'm so excited to stand up in front of you. And this is the 9th year, alhamdulillah, we are reaching this stage. And the initial idea back in 2008, when the meltdown started in the whole globe, was to come up with a congress or a conference. Wasn't even named a congress. It was a conference about financial planning and the importance of financial planning for individuals, corporates, and countries in general. And I remember when shooting an email to all the good friends and great colleagues and supervisors to say, I'm coming up with this. Guess what? The feedback was, this is a very novel idea, a great idea, but this is a small portion compared to the sustainability and sustainable development. And I never knew what does it mean by those days, during those times, sustainability and sustainable development. I did a lot of research, and then I was really convinced that this is the way forward for the future. So right away, I remember I've ordered 3 books about sustainability, and one was for myself. The second was for the Minister of Economy, His Excellency Sultan al-Mansouri of UAE, and the third was for His Excellency Ahmed al-Midfa, the Chairman of Sharjah Chamber of Commerce. And I went to each one of them, and we had over an hour meeting. And during that hour, I was trying to push this new term, which I've learned recently those times. And I said to both of them individually that this is the way forward. So we better work together to have a clear understanding. And from that time till now, I've been moved to almost 60 countries, talking the same language whenever I was invited, either for the leadership programs or marketing and branding. My specialization or my area of interest, my areas of interest, is to bring the sustainability in the system in a way to make sure that I clarify the misconception about this. And the misconception, here it goes, wherever there is a sustainability conference or program, worldwide, by the way, it's not only here, that misconception, you see it around. Everything tends to be green. As I said in my opening remarks the first day, you see green jackets, green salad, green tea, green cappuccino, green brochures, green stage, green certificate, everything goes green. Why? Because they think sustainability is related to the environment. And that is my debated point. It is not environment. Environment is part of it, but it's not everything. We need to include the social, and we need to include the economy. But we don't need to include all of them together and mix them like a marketing mix. They don't work this way. It's not a cocktail party. So what you need is to have the right balance, the right mix. And I want you to visualize this. If you have 3 circles, again, I keep repeating this because I want it to stick in your mind. If you throw 3 circles on the ground, there will be a meeting point among the 3 circles. There will be a meeting point. That meeting point called the triple line or the triple tree or the triple bottom line. This is where sustainability sits. It does not sit on the 80% of the environment or 80% of the social or 80% of the economy. So we need that 20%. And you know, in management, we're teaching a law called the 80-20 concept or the 20-80 concept. That 20% of what you do will have the 80% consequences on the results. And this is what sustainability says. Sustainability doesn't want you to wear green glasses. Everything goes so green, green lenses. No. Only that 20% which will have that 80% effect on it. And since then, we've been doing a great job, and I'm really motivated to see the outcome of this. And I remember on the 22nd of February 2009, when we had the first Congress, one of the recommendations I said, and it was quoted really highly by the media, rename the Ministry of Environment to be the Ministry of Sustainable Development. And it was well received by a lot of media reporters that yes, it's really true. I mean, people started to talk about sustainability, and the world leaders, they have agreed on the 8 Millennium Development Goals those days and others. So why not we really push for sustainability? Yet, Brother His Highness Sheikh Mohammed didn't listen to my idea, and he did rename it, but he put climate change on it. So I didn't win the game, but I'm not gonna give up. I'll be after him to rename it. The time will come, and you will see. Because if you see most of I don't see the leading economies in the world now, they have an office called the Office of Sustainability. And guess what? You know where this office reports to whom? To the top person, to the president himself, not even to the prime minister or the chief minister, if you will. Reports to the president himself. That's how important sustainability has become. Because this is the way forward. And we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to be so smart. I'm sure myself and the rest of the speakers, we've got so much for you in the store to be discovered. So please stick around. You promise us? You promise? Yeah? You need to stick around to make sure that you get the best knowledge, because I keep saying knowledge is power if it's learned, discussed, shared, applied, the main thing. So we need you to apply and share the knowledge. Otherwise, it's not a knowledge. Like the 3 R's I told you today. You still remember them? What is the first one was? Very good. The second? Reframe. The third? Okay. But I'm really so much excited now. Throughout the journey, that by all means, when you keep preaching things and you're really walking the talk and you really mean what you're doing, you start to attract. I don't know, again, back in management, they say the law of attraction. You start to attract the good things, right? And one of the latest good achievement I should reveal and say here is that when I was handpicked by His Highness back on 22nd of April 2014 to chair SIWA and to do that big bang transformational change on that organization, my first speech was when I stepped on the podium of SIWA, I said, I'm going international. But you know what? We have signed with more than 50 international global brand. 50 at the moment. And I really mean it, global brands. You visit us and you see the logos. Second, last Thursday, the United Office of Climate Change sent me a certificate, voluntary cancellation certificate, that SIWA was able to save 2,700 tons of CO2 because of the green strategies I have taken for the last 4 years. So the UN brought to Sharjah, and that is internationalization. This is when I say I'm going international, and I really mean it. And it was only 2 weeks back, the Big Five exhibition and the conference, they have solar leaders, global solar leaders, part of the conference. And this conference is one of the most successful conferences in the whole Middle East. It's been there for the last 38 years, right? Again, I was honored to be selected as the Global Green Ambassador, right? Now, the other good news is not about myself this time. All right, but I need you to clap too, right? You promised me, but not for me this time. You can cheer too, by the way. Yeah? We don't mind, you can up and down. This morning I had the privilege to see a team from my lovely university, Sharjah University, where I serve as one of the board of trustees. Dr. Ammar and Dr. Ayman, if I'm not mistaken. Are they around here? Yeah, Imad, all right. Just recently, Sharjah University decided to open a sustainability office, and they have a couple of teams to look after the sustainability and improve the efficiency on it. This is really deserved to be, to say a big thank you, and Ariel clapping here. So please do share with us, and I promise you, Dr. Imad, I'll be featuring you in my book because I'm writing a legacy here. And for those of you who are still interested to listen to my legacy, right, that was my title, Leaving a Legacy. That was my title for the coming up presentation, to stick around. Are you ready? Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you.